Hello, I'm Karen, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make the eyes for the owls. We're going to do this eye first. It takes about 10 minutes to make an eye, so if you want to make the other one, then please fast forward 10 minutes so that you can be able to make that one. If you want to learn how to make them both, that's fine, but this one I'm just showing you because this eye on the box that we was looking at, as they've gone round in a circle and they've changed their colour, we've got a funny little step thing there, and it's on both eyes. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to avoid that, if I can make this video right. I've just done 2 videos before this one where I've had a virtual mental breakdown. I was trying to do get hold of my yarn, and because I'm just looking here and I don't even know what I was wasn't paying attention properly, and this little owl here just did a stunt move and like flew straight across the screen. I couldn't stop laughing, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to calm myself down. It was funny to me at the time. Okay, so we want to put on our magic loop. We want to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we're going to slip stitch to join to make it into a circle. Then we're going to chain 1. Then we're going to work into the circle, and we're going to tuck the tail in as we go along. And we need to work 9 stitches. And we're doing single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whoopsie daisy, and 9. And we'll just check they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that bit that you can see there is your chain area, so we want to just make sure you go into the single crochet and slip stitch to join there, otherwise you end up with extra stitches. And we're just going to cut that off there. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull this through, and then what I'm going to do is where we've actually, we can move that out of the way so we can see better maybe, where we slip stitch together, I'm going to come from the back of that single crochet, get hold of the piece of yarn and slide that through so that's to the back. Now where you've done that slip stitch, you've actually created 2 little extra bars there. I'm going to use those bars this time as an actual stitch, and that's how you get the nice finish. Okay, so what we're going to do now is this is why I wanted my owl body back. I'm using white, so and not against the white background, you couldn't see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my magic loop and cast it onto my hook, and then where we actually slip stitch that yarn through that single crochet there, we're going to put the hook through the same place, and we're going to cast on to this point with a single crochet. And what we need to do is we need to do a 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2 all the way around till we've got a total of 15. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, sorry, 10, 11, 12, 13. Remember I said about that slip stitch, we need to sort of come up underneath those stitches just to find it the first time. So that's 14 and 15, and then we slip stitch underneath where the little knot piece is, of our first single crochet. Don't worry about that looking like a hole right now, because when we tighten up we'll pull this tight and it'll be fine. But that helps, that gives you the nice regularity of the star of the eye, if you can see that. Okay, I'm sorry, I've got a tickle in my throat now. It's all that laughing. Right, so now I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to single crochet in the same space, and then we need to single crochet in the next space, and then we need to do an increase by doing 2 into this next one. So we're actually working up in sets of 4. I'm so sorry about this. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got I just need to, I'm sorry, no, because I've got a sparkle on my wall, one of the strands has gone in a funny place and I can see it. There. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, and then we actually can work in that slip stitch space of where we did from, we've gone up a row, we can work one more single crochet in there, so we've actually got 21 stitches just to bring us up to a nice level, and then we can ignore that stitch there and slip stitch into the next one along, and that will give us our nice round eye. Now we're going to leave a longer tail that we finish off with the white. It doesn't have to be too long, but this is so that we can sew the eye to the actual owl. So same again, we're going to pull this all the way through like so, and then get your hook from the front to the back, catch hold of the yarn and just pull that through to the back. Okay, and then that's where we cast on there with that single crochet. We can pull that a bit tighter there. You can see how neat that is. It's much better, isn't it? Little tips, you see, to help you along the way. Now then, like I said, because we actually did a chain of 4 for the very beginning, and when we go to pull it, it will pull tighter. But as you can see, if you've got the, I don't know, you can see through it, I don't know whether you can see it on the camera, you can see slightly through it, so it does help add an effect if you want to. But that's as tight. You see that? I've moved that like that there. It's as tight as I can get that hole without spoiling it. So I'm going to put the long one out of my way, and then these strands that are left behind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie these into a nice tight knot there, and then this one that we joined on with, this white one, I want to tie that to the nearest bit of blue, or whichever colour you've chosen to use. Don't pull that too tight there though, because you're going to scrunch your eye, you'll pull your eye down. Just do that first bit as just a nice flat knot, and then this second knot you can pull it really tight and do a third knot just to make sure, because if we are giving these to children, we don't really want them to come undone. Okay, now we're not going to sew all these ends in, we're going to cut it quite short there, and we make sure that they're all tucked in when we sew that to the actual bodywork. Okay, so that's the first eye. Now I'm going to show you how to make the hypnotic eyes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the actual centre of it. We're going to start off with white. So realistically I need to have this little bit of a body back so you can see behind, because white against white just disappears, yeah. Alright, so we do the same again. If you've already watched everything else, you'll have already seen that we started off with a chain of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch together to make a circle. Chain 1 and work 9 single crochet into the centre, and you can tuck this centre tail in as you're going around. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Then we're going to slip stitch together into the first single crochet, not into the little chain area, into the first single crochet to join. Okay. Now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to work 1 single crochet in the same space, 1 single crochet in the next, and then, oh no, I'm fibbing, 1 single crochet in the first space and 2 single crochet in the next, all the way around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, and just in the same as the other eye, we're going to use this slip stitch area rather than pulling it over and slip stitching and making that scrunch. I'm going to use that as a stitch and do the last 2 stitches. So that's 14, 15 into there, and then we're going to slip stitch, not into the chain up area because that'll be really tight. If you try and get through there, you'll be like, oh, I can't get it through, into the actual beginning single crochet, which is there, which is easy peasy to get through. Okay, and that's it. We're just going to cut off that bit there. The same with the other eye, we're going to pull this yarn through here, and then I'm going to put my hook through the back at the same space where I've just slip stitched it, get hold of the yarn, pull it through to the back so that we've got our nice neat eye. Now we're not going to pull this centre really tight because we're actually going to sort of fill that up a little bit with the next thing. So now I need to get my darker yarn. I hope I've got enough out. Oh, I'm getting all my tails tangled up. Excuse me a minute, I've got a knot in my yarn. Oh, I tell you, this video is being mental. If you making these eyes, this is actually my 3rd video that I've actually made, because the first 2 videos, I say the first one, I didn't realise my owl was actually on the wool, so when I actually pulled at my wool thinking that it was wanting to untangle the ball a little bit, the baby owl, where is he? The baby owl went pew, like this, shot across the camera, and I just ended up in a fit of giggles and I couldn't stop laughing. It's like, this is just mental. Right, so with the darker blue I'm sorry, I'm making this sound and look like hard work. It's not. We're going to cast on, put it onto my hook with my magic loop. With the tail that we've just tucked through there, that stitch there, that's where we're going to actually join back on again, and we're going to do the same and cast on with a single crochet. Okay, so this time the sequence is 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. And theoretically, if you've got 15 stitches and did that all the way around, you'd have 20, but I'll show you we end up with 21 because we're going to do an extra stitch. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, into the last single crochet. Look, that's good. We're doing the 2, so that's 19, 20. But the same as before, I want to do 1 stitch in there, because if I try and slip stitch to there, I'm just going to screw that up and it's going to make an odd lump there. So if we come underneath that slip stitch, those 2 strands there, the other one was really easy to do and this one's harder for some unknown reason, under there. And we'll do 1 more single crochet in there, and that helps to neaten it all up so that we've got a better finish when I pull all those stitches right, look, yeah. So we've got a nice neat outside edge. Now we're going to leave a longer tail on this one, than even longer than the other one, because I'm going to use it to make the centre of the eye and sew it. So what we're going to sew it to the eye, so we're going to pull that all the way through like that. I may have put too much on, left too much on. We're going to come from the back to the front again, get the stitch, the yarn, pull that through, okay, and then we're going to get the wide-eyed needle and the longest tail end, and we're going to thread the needle there. Okay, so now we're already at the back. Now I know you've got these other tails in the way, so you're just going to have to like pull them to one side and be careful, okay? So I want you to come through the centre, pull your yarn through the centre. Don't pull it too tight, because obviously you're going from there all the way to there. Right, and then if you look at your work, you can see the actual obvious holes where you've done your other stitches. So you're going to go into that hole there and you're going to come back through the centre. Be really careful that you don't split your yarn as you're going through. Okay? And that's where we do 1. And then we look for the next hole along, and they're really obviously there, they're really easy to see. And this one's going to be whoopsie-daisy, number 2. Yeah, and then we find the next one. You want to just make sure that they just fit. Don't pull them really, really tight, otherwise you'll spoil your effect. Oh, did you hear that? I've split it. That's the under yarn, is it? You know, because of the threads in the sparkly stuff in it, and through there. As long as you don't split this yarn that you're working with as you come, that's the one that you don't want, because you don't want to end up coming through that bit of yarn and getting yourself stuck. Got to make sure that you keep the dark colour all nice, and just work through there, look. And then find the next hole along and come through. And the next one's there. I don't know whether you can see where I'm working properly because of the actual white background. Maybe if I move that there, if that will help. I don't know if you still can't see these holes. They really are, I mean, in your work, they really are obvious. You should really be able to easily find out where we're going. Shouldn't have any problems. Right, and then we've got one more to do, so we want to go just through there and stay at the back this time for the very last one. And there you go, that's how you make the hypnotic eye, and then what you can do is get the very oh, you haven't got a beginning thing to yeah, you've got your beginning white tail there, and pull that one a little bit tighter just to close up the centre of that eye. Okay, and then all you're going to do is do the same as we did with the other one. So this one with my needle, I'm still going to leave that attached because I'm going to get all of these tail ends. I'm going to get my white ones not because they're coming from such a distance to each other. We're just going to make them flat first, and then this second knot that I do, really nice and tight, and then just do a third knot because that's just my 2 knots keeping it nice. And then the shorter end, not the one that's attached, so it's going to the shorter end is actually the outside piece, not your centre piece. Yeah, so you want to come from that one down to your white one and do a knot just so that it just goes flat. Don't pull it tight, otherwise you're going to scrunch up the eye. You don't want to end up with your eye like screwed up after that, not after all your hard work of making it look this pretty. And then the second knot we can do nice and tight, and an extra knot just to make sure. And then what we want to do is just cut all of those 3 little ones off so they're out of the way. And then you can use, I mean, I can see I've got quite a lot of yarn to be able to use as the tail. Okay, now I've got to 21 minutes of this video, and I don't know whether, I normally try and keep them about 20 minutes long. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place, because I actually want to be able to have both my eyes the same, and when I'm looking at this owl, I actually prefer to have the hypnotic eyes on this owl, I think, because if I put it like that, I mean, it looks lovely. I'll do that one. When I look at them together, I think this one's got a better effect with the colour scheme that I've got going on me. So I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to make myself a second eye like this one, and then what we're going to do is I'll actually show you how to make the beaks for the owls, okay, and then I'll show you where to sew all of these into place. And then the video after that is where we're actually going to be like fixing everything together. So, because I will tell you, after you've sewn on the eyes and sewn on the beak, at the end of that video I'm going to say, right, now go back to the beginning and make this section again. Okay, so thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Bye for now.